Hey there guys, this is Caitlin here and welcome to a new kind of video that I wanted to present for you guys on the channel. I've been thinking about doing this idea for like a little while now, but now that I've kind of thought about it, things have kind of died down that we don't have the spoilers and whatnot for Force of Will, and I thought it'd be nice to introduce another little side series whatever to the channel, just to try and open up the little bit of variety that we have. So in particular, I am an avid fan of anime and manga, like literally I have a huge collection of manga literally sitting in a big crate or whatever that I have, and mainly it is volume 1s because half the time I see like a volume 1 of something, I look at the description whatever, I'm kind of interested in it, I'll pick it up, I'll read it. Sometimes I won't have the time or whatever or the money to actually delve in and buy the rest of the manga or whatever, but I'll try and keep up with it, find like the little source or whatever to try and read it online or something like that. But I do like to pick up volume 1s of things or whatever to just get a little taste of some of the things or whatever. So I thought I'll go through some of my collection, maybe like not every single week, but maybe like once every 2 weeks or a couple times a month. We'll see how like popular it gets or whatever, and share some of my recommendations or thoughts on some manga that I've picked up recently or that have just been in my collection for a while and that I think you guys might be interested in or might not be. So for this week in particular, we're going to be discussing a little manga here called Today's Cerberus. It is quite a cute little manga from what I've read in the first one. So the main premise behind it is we've got the main guy Chiaki here, who's the little cheapy guy down here. He's not actually that size, don't worry. It's just for comedic effect. So the little guy here, Chiaki, he's a Japanese student, as you know. His father is like an archaeologist or whatever that travels around. He's not really at home all that much, but Chiaki seemed to be with him during childhood and whatnot. He went to Greece and that with him on like his archaeological digs and whatever, exploring stuff. When he was a little boy, he actually discovered a small puppy or whatever, or what he thought was a puppy. It was actually basically a puppy version or a smaller version of Cerberus, you know, the dog of the underworld, the gatekeeper and whatnot. And he tried to help Cerberus essentially. Cerberus ended up biting him, and by biting him, Chiaki lost part of, or the majority of, his soul. So, he basically thought it was like a freak accident. He didn't believe it actually happened or whatever. But when he went home, he basically had like a problem where he struggled to express himself. So by losing his soul, he really struggled to be able to like feel enthusiasm for things. He found it a struggle to smile. Like people would say, oh, he's got the freakiest smile ever, because basically it's like a grimace. Like nobody like believes in him or whatever when he's trying to smile and whatnot. So, you know, he's coaxing through life. And then one day, this girl right here turns up saying, you're my new master, I'm going to be your new guard dog essentially, I'm going to protect you, and I'm just going to like stick around with you forever. Obviously he doesn't believe her or whatever. He's like, you're just some weird freaky girl or whatever who's just showed up out of nowhere and basically to guard me and such. Essentially then you know, she's like, oh, I'm your loyal guard dog, whatever. She has a tail actually. If I find a picture of it here, maybe I'm not going to show you the entire article whatever, because the entire manga whatever, but there's a cute little artwork of her and her little tail and whatnot, and you know, she's got the leash and everything like that, mainly like that. But it turns out, you'll see like the little description here, whatever. She has two other forms. Essentially, she is three people in one. She's three personalities. So there's the front girl who's like the main body, or whatever, the main head, and there's these two other ones. I can't remember their names off the top of my head now, but this is like the one who's like the most proactive. Whenever there's a fight or whatever, she's first to get in there to fight or whatever, and she is the more quiet one or whatever. And this mask here, as it's actually detailed in the manga, is that it reserves her power, so she is more powerful than she appears, but the mask is like preventing her from using like her total power. She's the more quiet, reserved one. She'll show up mainly when the other two are unable to fight anymore, but well, mainly the front girl doesn't really fight. She tries to, whatever, but she's not really the strongest or whatever. So that's why we've got these other two forms or whatever, and they know that they exist. They are aware of each other's presence, but she is not aware of the other two, even though she knows that she's Cerberus or whatever. So she basically shows up, whatever. Then she gets found out by Ouroboros, which I believe is the two-headed dog from Greek mythology, who's basically like, yo, Cerberus, you need to get back to Hades or whatever. We need to guard the underworld. Like, you're a guard dog. What are you doing in Japan guarding this little guy or whatever? And she's just like, you know what, I'm staying with him. He's my new master now. Just deal with it. So, like, he tries to, like, take her back, and they have, like, this epic battle or whatever, and he's basically blasted away. But, the main thing here is that when they changed forms or whatever, so basically they changed form or whatever, they all have these tails. When Chiaki accidentally pulls the tail of one of them, they either basically poof into one of their other forms or whatever, or they basically revert back to the original form, which is the front girl or whatever. So they can't pull their tails themselves and change. It has to be someone else. So that's why it sometimes happens accidentally or whatever, that when they pull the tail or whatever, they change into other forms. And there's also this other thing where it's like these evil spirits or whatever sometimes show up to like around about Chiaki Chiaki or whatever, mainly because he doesn't have a soul. So he mainly attracts evil spirits and whatnot who are like causing mischief and everything like that. So they fight the evil spirits and whatnot. And there's another girl in the school who's like a shrine maiden, and she kind of likes Chiaki and whatever, and she wants to protect him, but she's shy and all this stuff and everything like that. And Cerberus is a little bit jealous of her at first, or like some of her other forms are jealous of her. But they work it out, whatever. And we don't really know where it's heading so far. This first volume was basically essentially establishing all three of the forms of Cerberus, Chiaki, and like Chiaki eventually like opening up and letting Cerberus stay with him, whatever, because obviously she's got no home and everything like that. So Cerberus is living with him. I believe he lives on his own, if I remember correctly. Lives on his own. Cerberus here, she adores like fried bits of bread for some reason. Like he makes up all these random foods, whatever, that like fried bread crust, whatever, and she just loves it. And another thing is that she's kind of scared of other dogs. It's kind of funny at first, where like she runs into a Chihuahua essentially, and she gets so freaked out about it, and like she cannot cope. It's kind of funny like that. And obviously the standard trope where mysterious otherworldly girl is now living with me. She's gonna show up at my school so that she can be with me all the time essentially and hang out with me, like that kind of trope. Stereotypical trope, whatever. I'll try and see if I can find some any like good panels, whatever, from it, because there is some like gorgeous artwork or whatever. Like here's like the main form or whatever, the secondary form or whatever. She's like the kind of cocky one, the one who's always ready to fight and everything like that. She's pretty cool. I like her. She's pretty neat. And then where is another one where it's pretty cool? There's this awesome bit or whatever where basically they're fighting a jack-o'-lantern spirit, this big scary jack-o'-lantern spirit, whatever. He's here, he's like after Chiaki, whatever, to get their soul using these awesome attacks like will-o-wisp and things like that. It's pretty awesome. She's pretty cocky or whatever. She's like, you know who I am, but you're still ready to rumble. You've got guts, you puny pumpkin. It's pretty funny. But Chiaki's just like, hey, hold on. He's just lonely or whatever. So sometimes there's some spirits, whatever. Look at this really sad pumpkin. It is so super sad. There's some spirits, whatever, that Chiaki can like actually speak to and befriend. As you can see here, he's befriending the little jack-o'-lantern here. Obviously, some of them aren't always going to be that super friendly. There are some that are just, you can't really have any rhyme to reason with them, whatever, or they can't be talked to, which is a shame. But I'm not quite sure where exactly this is heading. I've not actually checked out what the volume 2 description is. I've seen it on the shelves, but I've not actually checked it out yet. But I found this to be a really super cute manga. Like, it's got some of those scenes where, like, maybe the girl is naked at one point or whatever, and, the standard manga anime trope thing of, like, guy gets freaked out that this random girl he's just met is sleeping naked or whatever, and, hilarity ensues. You'll see some standard tropes or whatever in this or whatever, but I found it super cute because she really wants to try and make it up to him for accidentally, like, stealing his soul, which she didn't mean to do. She only did it because she was scared and she was injured or whatever, as Cerberus in the three-headed form or whatever. But she is you can tell that she's super sorry. All the forms are super sorry for what they did to him, and they're just mainly just doing this to try and make it up to him and try and make his life better, because obviously he doesn't think he is super sad, but hearing other people talk about him or whatever, he realizes he must look like such a depressing person or whatever. So it is a really cute manga. I would highly recommend it. I am interested in trying to, like, continue it and find some way to read the rest of it. It would be super cute if it got an anime adaptation or whatever, but I feel like I'm not quite sure if this is a fully finished manga or whether it's ongoing still, but I am going to check it out a little bit more because I am quite interested in it to see how it unravels or whatever. The designs are super cute. The art style is super nice. I really like this one. I love, like, the little masks she's got or whatever, and she looks so super timid, but she's probably one of the strongest, I think, and she doesn't really show it too often, and they all wear, like, these kind of, like, doggy-eared headphones, whatever, which is, like, super cute, whatever, and everything like that, and they've also got the pink uniform, but the different ribbons, whatever. That's kind of like symbolizes the different personalities and such. But I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys are maybe interested as well. We'll be diving into some other kind of variety of things, so I quite like a kind of like a broad standard of things, whatever. There are some manga that I've picked up and I've had quite a bit of criticism with, so I will be discussing things that I maybe didn't like as much, but I will show to you guys in case any of you are interested in everything like that. So that's been today's manga. It has been today's Cerberus. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in picking this up, whether you like the kind of manga that follows mythological beasts and everything like that, and all that stuff, or what kind of manga is your favorite. I'd love to see if any of you guys have any recommendations for me for stuff to read or whatever, or things that I should pick up or, like, keep an eye out for or whatever, because I'm always looking to expand my anime and manga, like, library and whatnot. So until next time, guys, I will see you all later.